with David Witt, skipper for Sun Hung Kai Scallywag 100. We've got quite a few questions from the fans, David, so just I'll run through them. Fans have been very supportive online and very excited to see that we're back out on the water after 18 months off. I guess we try and give them a bit of a slice of what it's like, what's involved to get the boat out on the water and the amount of work, but maybe you can talk about the journey for the last 18 months.
Yeah, well, we had to get the boat delivered from the Philippines down to Brisbane. It arrived December last year. So since then we've been pulling the entire boat apart and trying to make it faster and more reliable. So basically we changed all the hydraulics, changed all the electrics. Peter Brett, the world's best boat builder, put a whole heap of new structure in the boat to move the mast back 500mm, the new mast. A new boom and some new sails and some new tack points to change our sail plan. So to say it's been an enormous amount of work would be an understatement.
Yeah, definitely. Got a few questions from the punters. So Sean T was surprised to see that the mast is deck stepped. What's the reason he's asking behind that, and why not keel stepped?
Yeah, well, the boat's always, the old mast was deck stepped as well. And basically the reason this boat's got deck stepped mast is because we cut the deck off the old boat, which was called Maximus. We built a new hull and shell and put the old deck on. So we hadn't really put the mast in the same position where it was, which was a deck step mast. Now we've moved it back 500mm to balance the boat better. But deck step isn't that uncommon. Kamachi's a deck step rig. A few other hundreds around the place in the deck step rig. Now we have with the sweater being swept back, they're a lot safer than what they used to be, and we run something like 46 tonne of jack pressure, so it's an enormous number. Deck step's no problem.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We also get enough control now with the new rig with 3 sets of deflectors. So in the old days, you used to pretty much want a keel step mast so you could get more control over the bed and match the luff curves and stuff. Now we've got enough control with the deck step mast, so no problem.
Fantastic. So on the rig, John C has asked, how do we measure the rig tension for each section of the rig?
Yeah, well, it's jack pressure. So the rig has a big jacking bar about this round that goes through the base, just up from the base of the mast. We have 2 75 bottle jack hydraulics, jack the rig up, and we put shims under the front. Southerns is all the new rig. The old rig was the same, but the new rig's much more modern and got all the new technology in it. So we have an ability to be able to change the shims and change the angle of the shims to get the mast step balance right. So basically we jack it up with hydraulic pressure is how we do it. We do have turnbuckles on the sides where we can adjust the V's, but that's more to keep it straight in column, and the tension's all through the jack pressure under the mast.
Fantastic. Morris P has asked, apart from having a taller rig, is there any reason lead was not removed from the bulb, or if we've changed the bulb structure at all?
Yeah, that's a good question. 100-footers are all about riding moment. The more stability or riding moment you've got, the more sail you can carry, the faster you go most of the time. So Kamachi's got the most riding moment of any 100-footer in the world. So we want to try and get as close to them as we could. We're also a lot lighter boat. Kamachi all connect. So I just want to fly.
Yeah.
So we don't have to, we're not worried about the overweight of the boat. We're lighter anyway, so it's more important for us to be able to have more riding moment.
Yeah, okay. And Adrian S and John C have asked, what's going to happen with the old rig sitting up in Brisbane? Is it too old to be reused in another boat, like maybe Wildfing 100? Or can it be recycled, or what happens to the obsolete carbon if it doesn't get reused?
I think it would fit in Warrow's boat, but he didn't want it. We got offered to Warrow, he didn't want it. Maybe down the track he might need it. But old carbon masts are just like these ridiculous wind turbines they're building everywhere. Once they're obsolete or once they're no good, what do we do with them? I haven't heard anybody give us a good idea with that. We try to cut it up into pieces and use all our old carbon bits to use for plates or use where we can. But the world hasn't worked out what to do with old carbon. Now we just keep building wind farms. So I don't know where we're going to put all those either.
Excellent. Ian T's asked, how much sail area have we added? And with the rig moving aft, it looks like Andu's rig.
Looks like Andrew's rig. Well, it probably does look like Andrew's rig. Andrew's rig was Southern Spars as well from New Zealand. That boat was built in 2015, so that's the original rig. So the configuration is actually pretty similar to Andrew's, but it's 2023, and technology's gone forward a long way in 8 years. So we've got our fingers crossed it's a much better rig than Andrew's, but we'll see what happens on the 26th, I suppose.
Yeah. And the sail area, have we added more?
Well, we've actually reduced sail area. The old days of thinking bigger sails, faster you go, is not actually right with these things. We used to have something like 1,200 to 1,500 square metres of sail area up at one time, and now I think we're down to about 1,100 or something now, because once you get too big, you just end up with too much drag up in the air. So, we don't have any spinnakers on board. All our downwind sails are actually just big headsails, big deeper headsails. And we're running a new VPP at the moment, and we're just seeing that the windier it gets, the smaller the sails we put on, the faster we go, less drag. So still trying to work that out in the last 4 weeks we've got.
What's VPP for the punters?
Oh, it's just basically the performance polars for the boat. Yep. So it all gets sent over to a place called K&D in Europe, and they have all the specifics on the boat. The sail makers put in their stuff from their wind tunnels and their design, and they come out with a number, but I've never yet to see a computer model actually be reality. But the numbers are pretty good, so I hope they're close.
Awesome. A few people have asked about expected performance gains through the new rig. Can you talk a bit more about RM riding moment and how the rig impacts that?
Yeah, well, the biggest gains with the extra, because the rig's 500 odd kilos lighter, 580 or whatever it is, the new boom's about 100 kilos lighter, and then we don't have a vang, so the old vang weighed 85 kilos. We just have a piece of rope now because the apparent wind's always so far forward. So all up, you add all that up, that's all above the shear of the boat, which means the centre of gravity of the rig comes down. So the boat hills over less, so that increases our riding moment, which allows us to have bigger sails for longer and sail quicker. So hopefully that'll be a huge gain. We've always struggled. The old rig was very heavy, so if you think about taking 100 kilos out of the rig, people will spend millions of dollars to do that. We've spent a lot of money, but we've probably got nearly 800 kilos out of the package, so that's already an enormous difference.
Yep, fantastic. Ian H has asked, in what conditions, wind strength and sea state, and on what points of sail will we see the biggest improvements in the revamped Scallywag performance, and by how much?
By how much? That's the golden question. How much? It's very difficult to be better than Komachi in their perfect conditions. So hard reaching, and up pressure, so 18 knots plus is where we used to struggle a bit because we didn't have enough riding moment, blah, blah, blah. So basically our top end's gone up slightly, and where we were stronger against the other boats has gone up slightly, but the biggest gains is where we were weak. So where we were weak, we've actually become strong again now. So we're much better all-round boat than we've been in the past. Still a boat race though. You've still got to get the sails up and down and go the right way and not break anything. So that's the big task.
Yeah, fantastic. A few people have asked how they can get a ride on Scallywag, either before or after or before or during the Hobart, down to Hobart.
Before the Hobart, into the Solus charity day, I think the club runs a program through the CYC where we take out a couple of guests, so that's probably the best way. Either that, you're on a corporate day, but anyone keen to deliver the boat back from Hobart with some of the race crew, ride in and we make a list and you might be lucky. As far as getting a ride goes for the Hobart race, this is a professional sailing team, and we've been doing this for I've been doing this for longer than 18 months, but the team's been together a long time now, so we tend not to, just like a rugby league team, we don't get to the grand final then decide we want to change the team. So.
Excellent, thank you. Bit of a controversial one as well here. Rumour has it that you've retired the trademark D. Witt Mark 7 offshore sea thongs for closed shoes this year. Can you please explain?
DOB, date of birth. I'm north of 50 now, 52, so I thought it was time that I started acting a little bit more like an adult.
Nice. Upcoming race fixtures. So a few questions on that. So everyone's asking, will the Scallywags be competing in Cabbage Tree, the Maxi Championships, and the Big Boat Challenge in the lead up to the Sydney to Hobart?
Yep, we're doing all that. We've just got our safety passed, and we're working hard today and the next week to start Cabbage Tree, which is next Friday. Then we want to try and win the Maxi Boat Championship again, which we managed to do a couple of years ago. It's going to be much tougher this year with a couple of boats, but that's all really important to our preparation for the Hobart race. So we're working 7 days a week at the moment, so never have enough time.
And Boxing Day, not far off. So 3 other 100-footers, Comanche, Law Connect, Wild Thing, competing against the Scallywags for line honours. How many Hobarts is this for you this year? And any thoughts on the other hundreds in the race ahead?
This is 26th, and based on our program, this is our last crack at it as a Scallywag. And probably my last crack at it. I think once I'm done with this will be it. So she's all or nothing this year for the Scallywags. As far as the other boats go, I wish them the best of luck. We're just a bunch of battlers, so I hope battlers come good this year.
Nice. And Ian H has asked, can we all look forward to line honours win this year for Hobart for the Scallywags?
If we don't, I might be out of a job.
Thanks, David. Cheers.